Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're outside our gazebo area. We have our grill here, we have our outdoor table and chairs here, our outdoor eating area, and this is an area of my house that I love. We get to sit outside regardless if it's rainy or sunny. It's covered. We have the lights here, as you can see. Can you see? You can see one right over here. When it gets dark, we still have some light here. We also have a fan for when it gets humid, so it's fully equipped for us to enjoy it all summer long, no matter what the weather is. And the reason why we're out here today is because in this video we're gonna cook up some of our marinades that we made together in a couple videos ago. I will link it for you in the comments below. I mean in the description below, and I will put it in the cards for you as well. So if you want to go back and watch that, you can go ahead and do that. So the first dinner that I'm going to show you guys is our orange ginger chicken kebabs, which if you saw the video when we made all of these marinades, this one we made two different ways. We made one in nuggets. I said that we're going to do it on kebabs, and one I left as cutlets. So tonight I defrosted the nuggets. We had it on the kebabs. We grilled it up with some zucchini, and we had it with some mashed potatoes, and it was delicious. I made this marinade once before, but I did it, the recipe said to broil it in the oven, and I decided that it'll work on the grill as well, and I was right. It is delicious. It was really good. My family enjoyed it, and we will definitely make this again and have it in my freezer for throughout the summer season to enjoy it. Now I'm going to run through a few of the other recipes, a few of the other marinades that we've already used, but as you might know from a previous video, that I have, when I record my videos, I transfer all the footage onto a hard drive, which I work from there to edit the videos and then upload it to YouTube for you guys. Something happened to my hard drive and I lost everything. So I already cooked some of them that I was going to show you guys. So if I get the footage back before this video goes up, I will try to include that as well for you. But if not, I will tell you what I've made and how we've enjoyed it. If I still make it again before this video goes up, I will record it again for you. But even if not, I will still, till this video goes up, I will, whenever I make something from that video, whenever I use any of those marinades, I will record it for you and I'll show you guys. So that's it. So as for the recipes that I've made before, so the fajita chicken, I made it with, let me go back. I have my book that I use here to menu plan my weekly things, so I can go back and see what I've made and how I made it. So the fajita chicken, I made it with some rice and guacamoles, and we ended up eating them on I think I got the mini taco shells, not taco shells, mini corn tortillas, and it was delicious. My whole family enjoyed it. Some of us tried the chicken plain and we didn't like it, but as soon as we ate it with the guacamole and with all the toppings with it, it was delicious. I never thought that I would enjoy it as much. That was actually not made on the grill. That I did make in the oven. And interestingly enough, even though this, the recipe called for taco seasoning that I made with you guys in that video, the taco seasoning had the smallest amount of cinnamon. Like all the other spices, there was so much more. But for some reason, the cinnamon, when it baked, it was the strongest smell in the house. My family came into the house, was like, "What are you baking? I smell cinnamon." They were so excited for it. And interestingly enough, when we tasted it, the cinnamon also came out very strong for some reason. But we loved it. It was really good. Now, so the first thing that I actually made was the shawarma chicken, which I know from before that my family loves. And that I usually serve with Israeli salad. I make some tahina to go with it and with a pita. We usually eat it with a pita. And I think I've shown you guys in a video already. But what I did was I actually also had coleslaw that I had made a day before, I think. So what we do is that we take in a bowl, we put in the chicken with Israeli salad, and whenever we have coleslaw, I add the coleslaw as well with tahina. We mix it together, so all the flavors are one, and you'll end up having it all in one bite in the pita. And just after it's all mixed together, we put it into the pita, and that's how we eat it. And it is delicious. And that night, my family was like, "Make it again next week," and I was like, I only made 2 of them. Like, I don't care, make it again. Next thing I have here on my list is falafel. So I actually also made falafel for lunch. It fried up beautifully. I've been struggling for years to make my own falafel. Whenever I tried making it semi-homemade, when I buy like the falafel mix and all you need to do is add like the liquid, I think. I know it's been a year, so I don't remember. It always exploded for me. It never held the shape when I fried it. And I was so, I'm looking for the right word. But I was never interested in making falafel homemade because it always flopped. And I don't like the freezer ready ones that you just reheat. They're just not the same. And these falafel bowls, they hit the mark. I did add some breadcrumbs to it. I think it might not be necessary, so the next time I make it, I might not add it. I'll make one bowl and I'll see how it fries up and go from there. If needed, I'll add more. But also, it was so good, and I'm so excited that I have so much left in the freezer, and I'll enjoy it for lunches throughout. Next thing that we've also made is burgers. The burgers also, I know for many, many years. It's been a favorite since I started making it. So probably like 8 or 9 years already, probably even more, that I've been making the same burgers. And ever since I started making them, I can't eat any other burgers, because most of the burgers that you'll find, especially ready in the store, are just ground beef patties and like nothing else to it. Sometimes you'll see that they put like crushed pepper on the outside to make it pepper crusted. But this is a hit. Whoever has it loves it. And it's something that I just can't have a summer without it. So it's also great to have it in the freezer. And I think that's actually the dinner that I made the coleslaw that I then served the shawarma with. I have made also, the next one is beef basil marinade. Let me see what I made with it. Oh, so I made it with a potato salad, and I roasted some vegetables. I'm trying to think what I think I may have made Brussels sprouts with it. I can't remember. But also was so good. And I tried it for the first time, this recipe, last year, and I used sandwich steak for it. And this year, when I bought the meat, also in the video, if you've watched it, you know that the store only had 1 package of sandwich beef, and I used it for a different recipe. For this one, the cut that I used was actually labeled as beef jerky. And so I don't know if it was the cut of beef, or because we have a new grill and we've learned how to use it properly and to use the temperature gauge on here properly, which I'm teaching my husband how. He's usually the one grilling, as you'll see in the videos. Whenever we grill, it's usually him. And I was like, we should use it. And then he started asking me every time before he comes down here to cook. He's like, okay, so what temperature do you want it at? And so I don't know if it was cooking it at the right temperature, so the edge, like, it didn't dry out before it cooked through. But it was also so good. Everything together, like the beef itself, the potato salad. Also, I've made it last year, and we really enjoyed it. It had a bunch of dill in it, and the dill is just so fresh and delicious. It was really, really good. And what else? And we made the grilled chicken salad. I made the day that we put together all these marinades. I made the grilled chicken salad, and I had a bunch of vegetables in the house: lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and pickles and lettuce. Did I say lettuce already? I don't know. And I made my go-to salad dressing that I like to have in the house is a Caesar dressing, which I believe I've shared with you whenever I shared the kale salad. And it was really, really good. So far we've made quite a few. My plan this week is to make our pineapple jalapeno chicken. So I will include that for you guys as well. And if I make anything else from here, from that video, anything that I have in the freezer, or if I can, like I said, or if I can recover those footage, I will include that for you in this video. So I hope you keep up with this video and see how I pull all of this together and make it into a full meal. I do not, as of now, know what meats or chickens we're gonna have, so I'm not gonna tell you everything that we're making, but I will try to include timestamps in the description for you, so if you want to keep up with me or just make certain things, you can skip right ahead, and that's it. So I hope you enjoy. Come along with me and let's get cooking. Like I said, the first dinner we are making is an orange ginger chicken kebabs with some mashed potatoes and zucchini. I'm starting to go by prepping the zucchini because we're going to grill this up first because this is a great appetizer, snack, and side dish that we will eat. Like I said, appetizer. So right as it comes over the grill, we're going to start munching on them. Once that is ready, I am getting out a plate and my skewers, and I'm getting my defrosted orange ginger chicken out of the fridge, and I'm gonna get them onto the skewers, get them ready to go on the grill, and have doing this over a plate, as you can see, is a lifesaver. There's no cleanup afterwards. Like the counter stayed clean. I just had to wash the plate and my hands once I was done. Now I'm having my husband go outside and preheat the grill and get it ready. And I'm gonna send out the zucchini so that he can start grilling that up until I finish prepping these and I take this out for him as well. So here he is, the grill is preheated. He is placing the zucchini straight onto the grill. We love having the grill marks on it. I feel like it adds so much flavor. And you'll see in other vegetables that I prep, I have a grill basket that I use for other stuff. Once he is ready, he adds the chicken on there as well. And he's making sure that the end of the skewers are sticking out so that that doesn't get very hot. And when it's time to turn these over, he's not going to burn his fingers. A little while later, he comes back and he is flipping over the zucchinis one by one. And because we do it this way, there is some losses. They do tend to fall through the grates sometimes, which is okay. That's why I do a lot. Like you saw, I prepped 2 zucchinis for this, and that's okay. We lose a couple pieces, but that's still okay. Once the second side is grilled, and you'll see this comes out in batches, he removes some of it, whatever he thinks is ready, and right away we top it with some soy sauce, as you can see. It's a great snack. You munch on it until it's ready. A few minutes later, the rest of it is done. So he's pulling those out as well, flipping over the chicken, and again, dousing it with the soy sauce so that we can enjoy it. He moved that over to the table. And now as the chicken is ready, which every one will be slightly different because they're different thicknesses and different sizes, he will remove them one by one. And he is placing them on the plate that has the zucchini as well. Here it is, completely done. You can see the zucchini is demolished halfway. And I also made some potatoes to go with it. Like I said, I did not show you guys how I made it, but I didn't remember when I made the next batch of orange ginger chicken that I showed you this already, but I will show you then how I make my mashed potatoes as well. And here we go. I'm going to plate up a serving. I had some Yukon Gold potatoes here, so I cooked it with a peel on, which I had washed. You can see some of the peel in there. And it adds such a good flavor to it. I don't do that when I make mashed potatoes with russet potatoes. I don't feel like that skin has that much flavor, but with a Yukon Gold, it is really good. I'm adding some mashed up potatoes, I'm adding the zucchini, and I'm gonna add the chicken here as well. And this is one of the reasons why I love to grill. We get to use plastic, and I choose to use plastic so we have an easier time bringing everything in and out, and there's less cleanup, less dishes for me to do after dinner. Now I don't enjoy eating the chicken straight off of the kebab, out off of the skewer. So I am removing that from the skewer and just adding it to my plate. And I can't remember if everyone in my family ate it on this day, so that's why you see that I have 2 skewers per plate. And this was, like I said earlier, was enjoyed by everyone. And cooking it on the grill versus baking it on broil, I enjoyed it this way a lot more. When I did it on the broiler, it was a lot drier, and I feel like it had a lot more flavor when I ate it like this. So here we go. I guess I wiped my hands because it got dirty. And look at this delicious plate of yumminess. Hey guys, welcome back to another dinner that we'll be cooking from our marinades. Today we are making burgers and we're making chicken, the pineapple jalapeno chicken. It is Mother's Day weekend and I just planted out all my stuff in the garden, most of the stuff actually. And we're gonna have dinner with family. So usually I would just make one thing. What am I doing? So I was planning to do the pineapple jalapeno chicken with a macaroni salad and some grilled vegetables. Because we're having family over, I pulled out the burgers as well, and I'm making the coleslaw to go with it. So that's my cabbage that I shredded up, washing and spinning it dry. I'm going to shred a carrot, and we're going to make a macaroni salad. And I think I'll leave some pasta out. I'll cook an entire pound of pasta, but I won't make all of it into macaroni salad. So if any of the kids want just pasta, they can have that. It's a great option. I pulled out this bowl before I started shredding the cabbage. And with the amount of I didn't know that I have this much cabbage. I thought I'll have a smaller coleslaw. So this one, since I won't be making all of the pasta into macaroni salad, this bowl will be for that. And it needs carrots as well, so that's okay. Hi, what is going on with me today? In the kitchen, what's going on? It's because when I was out in the garden planting out everything went very smoothly. Okay, let me get some water going. These are defrosting. I'm gonna fill this up with water. Okay, I think I'm gonna make another mayo because between this and the macaroni salad, I'm not gonna have too much left, if anything. And I like having that with my burger and my sandwich. Is that half a cup? Maybe a little bit more. And a little bit of lemon juice. So I had to first put in a little bit of sugar, put some mayonnaise, a little bit of lemon juice. And this I always like to make earlier in the day because I like when the cabbage has time to soften up a little bit. I'm gonna mix this together, cover it, and set it in the fridge until we're ready to eat. I'm gonna clean up my cutting board here, and then I'll start prepping the carrots and the dressing for our pasta salad. So the recipe actually calls for 8 ounces of pasta, so that's perfect. So I'll cook the entire box, so 1 pound, which is 16 ounces, but I'll only use half. The recipe calls for elbow macaroni, but this is the shape that I like. So this is what I bought, and we'll use this. I'm gonna get this ready for once the water is hot and boiling. Okay, So we need a carrot peeled and grated with mayonnaise, sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, turmeric. I don't think I will do cayenne pepper, kosher salt, and black pepper. Okay, I'm gonna start off with a carrot. The recipe calls for 1 cup of mayo, but I think that's way too much for the amount of pasta that we're having in the salad. So, I'm just gonna do whatever is left in here, which is about a 1/2 cup. Maybe more like a 3/4, somewhere in between. 1 teaspoon of sugar. We need kosher salt, black pepper. Let me get the rest of my spices out. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. So I hear my water starting to boil. I'm gonna wait until I'm done adding the spices, and then I'll add the pasta to make sure that it has a nice rolling boil. I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and if you want, you can add a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I'm gonna salt this. This needs 12 minutes. And I put the wooden spoon over top over here. It helps that the water shouldn't bubble over. I'm gonna mix this together. I'm gonna set it aside until the pasta is ready for us. And while that is going, I'm gonna make a new mayonnaise that we can enjoy with our burgers. I'm gonna set it in the fridge. I'm gonna clean up the space here because we're done with this for now. I believe for today, actually. I'm gonna mix this a couple times to make sure that they don't stick together. For the mayo, for any of you that haven't seen me make it yet, I'm gonna start off with 1.5 cups of oil. Okay, so I don't have any eggs. I thought I have eggs. So I'm gonna cover the oil. I'm gonna leave it out here, and we'll make our mayo later today once I have eggs. And I'm gonna show you guys once this finishes cooking how we're gonna finish this macaroni salad. Okay, now the recipe for the pasta salad does say to let the pasta cool completely, so that's perfect. I'm gonna let it sit in there, and once it's completely cool, we're gonna mix it together. Okay, I got this out. Our pasta is cooled, not completely, but enough that I'm okay adding it. I'm gonna add about half of the pasta into my bowl here. And now we're gonna toast to combine. Okay, this pasta salad is new to me, so I'm gonna give it a taste test. I like the spices. So good. The turmeric has such a good flavor. Wow. Yep, I like this. So the recipe actually says to serve this right away. I will serve it cold. So I'm going to cover it and set it in the fridge until we're ready to eat. And I'll see you guys when I make the mayonnaise and when we're grilling up our proteins. So I did not get the eggs in time to be able to make a mayo, and I was busy in the kitchen when my family came out and started grilling. So I don't have a video of the burgers being grilled up, but that was our jalapeno garlic chicken and some peppers. We did some hot dogs for the kids. Here you can see our tablescape, all the food, delicious. The jalapeno chicken was enjoyed by all, even the little kids. And that is my plate. Everything was delicious, everything was eaten up and enjoyed. The next thing we're making is a honey mustard barbecue steak sandwiches with some shaved Brussels sprouts, with some bacon crisps, and a fake vinaigrette. And for this, we are starting off with some sliced onions and sliced garlic. And we're adding it to the pan here with some oil And we're going to add some salt and pepper as well. And we're going to let this cook down until it's nice and tender and starting to brown, which could take up to about 50 minutes. You're going to want to stir this, but not very often, because the less you stir it, the more the color will develop and faster, because you're just letting it sit in contact with a hot pan, and that will create the color. Once the onion and garlic have that beautiful color on it, you're going to remove the meat from the marinade and add it to the skillet. You're going to lower the heat, cover it, and you're going to let it cook for about 2 hours. And I did keep an eye on it every half an hour, I'd say about maybe 45 minutes. I would peek in, give it a little stir if needed, and that's all you need to do for now. So hour and 45 minutes into cooking, so about 15 minutes before it's done, we're going to make a cornstarch slurry. We're adding half a cup of water with 1 to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And you're going to mix it to dissolve the cornstarch. And once that is ready, I'm going to get out some honey mustard barbecue sauce. We're going to uncover the pot. We're going to add the mustard, honey mustard barbecue sauce, and the cornstarch slurry, and we're going to let that cook until the sauce thickens. And you want it to really coat the meat and be nice and thick. While we're waiting for our sauce to thicken, we're going to start working on our salad. And the first thing I'm doing is taking some beef fry or bacon, and I'm going to cook it up and get it nice and crispy. So I'm going to separate it, lay it out on a cookie sheet, and the way that I like to do it is put it into a cold oven, turn it on to 425, and by the time it reaches temperature, or maybe a couple minutes later, it'll be nice and crispy. If you don't want to do it in the oven, you can just do the same thing in a pan. Just start with a cold pan, and while it comes up to temperature, it's going to crisp up. Now that that's in the oven, I am checking my meat and the sauce is looking like it's ready. So I'm turning over the heat. I'm going to cover it up because I want it to stay warm until we're ready to eat. And I'm going to move the pan aside so that we can work on making our salad. Back to our salad, I'm getting a bowl out and I have my shaved Brussels sprouts. I saved myself some time by buying the ready shaved ones. And I'm going to add that to a bowl. And the recipe does call for roasted almonds. I had slivered almonds in the house and I didn't want to buy another pack of almonds before using that up. So that is what I am using here. And then I'm setting my bowl aside so we can start working on the dressing. For the dressing, I'm getting out a small container and I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of honey, 1.5 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, some salt and black pepper, and we're going to leave it out because the last thing to be added will be 2 tablespoons of the beef fry fat or the bacon fat, and so we're going to wait for that to come out of the oven. Once our beef fry is ready, I'm getting that out of the oven. I'm going to get some of that fat into our container that we made the dressing in. We're going to mix that together, and then I'm going to get my beef fry onto a cutting board. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to add it to a salad, and I'm going to tap that with a dressing and toast it all together to get it nice and combined and evenly coated. Now that everything is ready, we can start building our sandwiches. So I'm getting some baguettes out and I'm cutting it in half. We're going to fill it with our beef and we're going to put in some of that onion and garlic that we started off with as well. And then I am going to cut this into half so it's easier to eat. And I'm going to add our Brussels salads. Now this is a dinner that I was very hesitant to try. I was excited to make it when we did all the freezer prep, but I was nervous to actually cook it for my family because I was not sure how we're going to enjoy this. And the only way to find recipes that your family is going to love is by trying. And this is something that everyone in my family absolutely loved. The meat was delicious. The flavor was heaven. The meat was nice and soft and tender. and it just was a beautiful sandwich without having to add anything to it other than just the meat, the onions, the garlic, and the sauce that it cooked in. And the same goes with the salad. It was new for us on that day, and it was delicious. With the last bits of it was scraped out of the bowl, it was enjoyed that much. So if you want to try something different and something new, if you're adventurous, if this is something that you have never had anything like it before, try it. We loved it. So now that I'm editing the video, I realized that I recorded twice the orange ginger chicken. So this one here I made with some mashed potatoes, some green beans, and this was the cutlets that we made instead of the kebabs. And my family actually preferred it this way over having it with the kebabs. Okay, guys. So today we're gonna be having some people over for dinner. So I wanted to take out some burgers. We're gonna do a Mediterranean chicken. I have the buns defrosting. All this is defrosting right now. Gonna set this aside. Now the first thing we're gonna prep today is some coleslaw. So I got cabbage and carrots out. We are gonna do some rice to go with the Mediterranean chicken. I'm debating if I should do a Caesar salad. I have kale. I have a Caesar dressing. I have some sourdough bread that I can slice and toast up for croutons. So I'll see if I'm in the mood of doing that. If yes, we'll make some Caesar salad as well. I'm not showing you guys how I made the coleslaw because you guys saw me make it in the beginning of the video with our pineapple jalapeno chicken and the burgers and the pasta salad. And I think about the Caesar salad. I'm gonna check the kale if it's still good because when I checked it the other day it was like on the brink of going bad. Okay, the kale still looks good, so we're gonna make some croutons with this. Let me see what temperature I should set my oven to toast those croutons. 350. I'm getting a board out to cut it. And I'm gonna get out a cookie sheet and line it with parchment paper. I think this quarter of the bread will be perfect. I'm gonna cut it into slices first and then into croutons. So usually I wouldn't be making this much for one dinner, but because we're having people over, I want to have variety. And whatever we don't eat today could be lunch tomorrow. I think this is the perfect amount. We're going to sprinkle some smoked paprika for flavor and some olive oil. I'm going to toss it and then we're going to bake it for 20 minutes. As I'm prepping all this, I'm thinking that I was planning to make rice. I'm thinking that'll be way too much food, especially if I'm making the salad. So I think we're going to skip that. So while we're waiting for our oven to preheat and this is going to be roasting, we're going to get some mayo going. You guys have seen me make it, so I'll just run through it. We have oil, an egg plus egg yolk, lemon juice, some mustard, kosher salt, and black pepper. Perfect. Our oven reached temperature. We're going to blend this up. So once we're done with this and our croutons come out of the oven, I will see you guys once we grill up our burgers and our chicken, and we'll bring the rest of it all together. Now that it's dinner time and our guests are here, the grill is preheated. We're gonna start grilling our burgers. Now, as you can see, we have our veggie basket over there, and the reason for that is because I had some mushrooms in the fridge that were gonna go bad, and it was just a few pieces, so I decided to add that onto the grill. We had just drizzled it with olive oil, salt and pepper, and we enjoyed that as well. Now we're just laying out the burgers one at a time, and we're gonna cook them on both sides until they are done. Next, my husband's adding the Mediterranean chicken to the grill. He's getting it out of the marinade onto the grill, and just like the burgers, laying them out separately, and he's gonna grill them on both sides until they are done. I brought out the kale salad, so I'm showing it to you. It's just the kale with the croutons and the Caesar dressing that I had in the fridge. I toasted all together. And now that our burgers and chicken are done, we're going to get that off the grill, and we toasted up a bunch of buns to enjoy with the burgers as well. And those are coming off as well. They all came off at the same time. It was perfect timing. And like I told you before, the burgers, we know it's a classic for us. We love it. We enjoy it every single time we have it. The Mediterranean chicken we enjoyed, but it was not a favorite. I don't know if I would put it into a regular rotation for freezer meals for us. And the kale salad, I know it's good. Overall, this was a delicious meal. Okay, so for today's dinner, we're going to have fajita chicken. I am already preheating the oven, and I also got some rice cooking because we're going to make some lime rice. So we're going to cook it like normal rice. And once it's done, we're going to jazz it up a bit. For this, I'm going to spread it out. I am preheating the oven to 400. And I left the bag here because I want to check how long it needs to bake for. Now this is peppers and onions that we can eat it with. And we're going to make guacamole as well. So while the oven is preheating, we got the rice going. And this is baking. This needs 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. So now, while we're waiting for this, we're going to get going with our guacamole. Okay, I'm going to use 2 avocados today, because my entire family enjoys the guacamole. I want to make sure that we have enough for everyone. This wasn't fully ripe. There's like one piece in the bottom here that's still hard. The entire avocado actually still feels hard. I don't know if I'll be able to use this. Not really. We'll have to see what we can do about that. I'm not going to do a lot of vegetable preps. I'm going to use a small cutting board today, which you guys don't get to see me use very often. I have these 2 small red onions, so I'm going to dice these up. Okay, now that we got our onions in here, I'm going to rinse my board to get rid of any of the onion peels. And we're going to cut up some tomatoes that I have here. I'm not going to do too many tomatoes. I'm just going to do like 2 or 3. I think I'll do 3. And by the way, guys, these are my first flower cuttings from our garden. I trimmed back all the flowers that we had to encourage the plant to grow bushier instead of taller. I believe we're done with the cutting board for now. And we're going to grind in some sea salt, some black pepper. Now I have a half a lemon here that we're going to squeeze in on top of it. Now we can mash the avocado and get it all combined. Okay, I'm going to set this in the fridge until we're ready to eat. Okay, while we're waiting for our rice to get ready, we're going to prep everything that we need for that. I washed the lime here because we need some zest. We're going to need some lime juice, so I'm going to squeeze this lime that we zested. Okay, now that our rice is ready, we're going to take a teaspoon of the lime zest, put it in here. We're going to get, actually it says a half a teaspoon. I'm going to take out some, a tablespoon of lemon juice. You can't see anything I'm doing. I'm so sorry about this angle. And a teaspoon was for some oil. Now we're going to add some salt and pepper. And we're going to mix this in. Now we're going to let this sit until our chicken is ready. Now that the fajita chicken is done and coming out of the oven, we're going to let it cool off a little bit before we cut into it, because I like to cut them into slices. And while that's cooling, I am warming up some tortillas to eat this with. So this is how I plated up the dinner. Everybody got some sliced chicken with the vegetables, the rice, and some lemon wedges. In the middle of the table, I had the heated up tortillas with the guacamole, some jalapeno, and some scallions from the garden. And the way I'm eating it is I'm taking one of the tortillas, topping it with an avocado, with a guacamole, then the chicken, the vegetables, the jalapenos, the scallions, squeezing some lime juice on it, and I'm eating it a little bit like a burrito, keeping somewhere between a burrito and a taco, I guess. Holding it together, eating it, and while I'm biting into that, I'm taking some forkfuls of rice. And the fajita, I know from last time that we do enjoy it, and the rice did not hit the spot for us. I will still link the recipe for you guys down below if you want to try it. But for my family, I'm still on the hunt to find a rice that will harmonize with this dish very nicely. So guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, consider hitting the subscribe button to see more upcoming videos, and I hope to see you in the next one.